Listen carefully. There are moments when everything seems dark, when loneliness presses in and emptiness becomes unbearable. Questions pile up, but answers never arrive. The weight of disappointments becomes more than one can bear. But this darkness is not the end. There is a light that does not waver, that does not disappear when everything falls apart. It is here now. It does not depend on circumstances, does not come from human promises that fail, nor from uncertain paths that lead to more pain. This light is the love of God. This love requires nothing in return. It simply is. It is present even when we don't realize it. It works even when everything seems lost. It does not ignore wounds, does not belittle pain. On the contrary, it embraces, restores, transforms. The dark tunnel has an exit, and that exit is right in front of you now. There is no longer any reason to stay in darkness. The light has begun to shine, dispelling every shadow and bringing back the hope that seemed lost. If this truth touches your heart, declare, "The light has found me, and I embrace this love." What keeps someone in darkness for so long is not just the lack of an exit, but the fear of believing there is one. There have been many failed attempts, many broken promises, many shattered expectations. After so long hearing that things will get better and seeing everything worsen, it becomes easier to accept the darkness than to risk another disappointment. But this resistance does not change the truth. The light has arrived. It is here now, regardless of what you feel, regardless of what your mind insists on saying. This light is real. It is not an illusion. It is not just empty words thrown to the wind. It acts, it redeems, it transforms. Darkness is not a permanent place. Believing that this emptiness will last forever is a mistake. No pain is eternal. No night is infinite. Even if it seems like the days are just repetitions of suffering, this emotional prison has a key, and that key is within reach. What has been the heaviest burden to bear? A betrayal, abandonment, loss, the fear of never being enough, the voices that say nothing else matters? No matter what the pain is, this love is greater. There's no wound so deep that he cannot reach it. There's no darkness so dense that can prevent this light from entering. The truth is that no one was created to live without this love. That's why there's a constant emptiness, that feeling that something is always missing, even when everything seems to be in its place. Because the human heart finds rest only when it surrenders to this love. The choice, to carry on or to let go. Right now there are two options, to continue carrying this pain or to surrender. Yes, surrender, because holding on to all of this alone has worked until now? Has this internal struggle brought peace? Or has it only deepened the hole? There's no need to remain in this cycle. The way out is in front of you, but no one can force this choice. The light is here, but it needs to be embraced. What happens? When this light enters, transformation doesn't happen overnight. But something changes the moment this light is allowed to enter. The weight that once felt unbearable starts to lift. What was once fear begins to be replaced by peace, and even if the external circumstances remain the same for a time, the inside will never be the same. This love empowers. It gives meaning, it uplifts, it heals. Life was not meant to be just pain, disillusionment, and survival. There is so much more waiting. There is a new chance, and that chance is now. The light has begun to shine, but there's something inside you that still resists. It's the doubt, that old voice that insists on saying, "What if this is just another illusion? What if this hope is temporary like all the others?" The darkness tries to hold on to those who are already accustomed to it, because deep down, as painful as it is, suffering becomes a familiar zone. You know what to expect from it. The pain repeats itself, but at least it's predictable. And then comes this love, this light, saying that there's a different path, and the mind, used to chaos, hesitates. But this resistance won't change the fact that something is happening right now. This message didn't reach you by chance. That feeling in your chest, that mix of tightness and relief, is not a coincidence. Something greater is calling. The life that awaits you. Imagine for a moment what it would be like if that weight disappeared. What if waking up in the morning wasn't a struggle? If fear no longer controlled your steps? If peace took up the space that is currently dominated by emotional exhaustion? This is not a distant dream. This is an accessible reality, and it starts now. But for this transformation to happen, you must allow it. You need to let go of the old identity built on pain and failure. Because the truth is, pain does not define who you are. The past is not a sentence. Mistakes are not chains. If there is life, there is a new beginning. If there is breath, there is opportunity. And now, a new story is ready to be written. The first step. The light has arrived. But it doesn't force its way in. It needs to be accepted. You don't need to be perfect to receive it. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to decide. Because this choice is yours. The pain has been felt for too long. The emptiness has dominated for too long. The guilt has weighed enough. Now it's time to let it all go. The process of transformation. No one escapes the darkness overnight. But the first change happens the moment the light comes in. Something inside sparks to life. That exhaustion that seemed eternal starts to lose its grip. What once felt impossible now seems a bit clearer, and each day becomes a new step, a step out of pain, a step away from fear, a step toward purpose. Life doesn't have to continue as it is. A fresh start lies before you, and all that needs to be done now is to take that first step. The decision has been made. Something inside you already knows that this love is real. It knows that the darkness can no longer hold you captive. But what happens now? The first step has been taken. But now it's time to understand what it means to walk in the light. The light is not just a moment of fleeting relief. It is a change of direction. It's a new path. It's a new perspective on life. And this path demands something fundamental, to remain steadfast in the choice you've made. Because the darkness will try to pull you back. Fear will try to whisper that nothing has changed. Old pains will try to present themselves as if they are still part of who you are. But now there is a greater truth. You no longer belong to the darkness. What happens when the light enters? Something changes. The mind begins to see what it didn't see before. The heart feels a weight lifting, but at the same time the battle begins. Because the scars of the past do not vanish instantly. But the difference now is that you are no longer alone. Each day will be a new step. Will there be moments of doubt? Yes. Will there be tough days? Yes. But now, there is a love sustaining each of those days. And each time pain tries to return, there will be a new truth within you to counter it. Pain says, "You will always be this way." The light responds, "A new story is being written." Fear says, "You are not strong enough." The light responds, "You don't have to be strong alone." Guilt says, "You don't deserve a fresh start." The light responds, "This love is not based on what you deserve, but on what has already been given to you." How to stay in the light? Choose every day. The decision to step out of darkness isn't made just once. It is reaffirmed every day, in small choices, in thoughts, in actions. Distance yourself from what pulls you back. The past will try to bind you, but you don't need to look back at it. There is something new ahead. Remember the truth. When doubt arises, when lies try to dominate, it's essential to remember. The light has come and nothing can extinguish it. The next step is here now. The choice is to continue, to keep moving forward, to not return to the darkness, to not allow what has already happened to define what is yet to come. The story is being rewritten. Pain no longer has the final word. Fear no longer has control. The light has triumphed. The decision to walk in the light has been made. But now comes the part that few talk about, how to deal with the process of transformation. Because darkness does not vanish without resistance. Old thoughts still try to dominate, past pains still echo, and the feeling of weakness may still arise. And in that moment, the temptation to give up becomes real. But here's the truth: this love does not abandon. The process does not rely on human strength. The light that began to shine within you will continue to guide you, even on days when you feel lost. The battle between the new and the old. Every change meets resistance, not because the light is weak, but because the mind has grown accustomed to darkness for so long. It's like opening a window after being in the dark for a long time. The eyes hurt, the brightness is uncomfortable, there's an instinctual desire to close it again. But over time, vision adjusts. What was once strange becomes the new normal. The same goes for the heart. It must learn to live without the weight of pain, but this requires persistence. In the first days, emotions still fluctuate. There will be moments of deep peace, but there will also be days of struggle. Yet, in every moment, the choice to stay in the light must be reaffirmed. With every destructive thought, remember, I have already been rescued from this darkness. With every painful memory, declare, my past does not define my future. With every attempt of fear to return, respond, this love sustains me. The depth of the love that rescues. This love is not superficial. It's not a fleeting emotion or a brief moment of relief. It goes deep. It touches the most broken parts, the oldest wounds, those memories that no one knows. It does not ignore what has happened, but it does not allow that to define who you are. And that's why this process is so powerful, because it not only alleviates pain, it heals. Each day in the light is a step toward restoration. There is no rush, no pressure, but there is consistency. And this consistency brings about transformation. What happens after the light comes in? Something changes. The gaze is no longer the same. Thoughts begin to organize. Anxiety loses its grip. Hope starts to take up space. What once seemed impossible now becomes real, because the light not only illuminates, it renews. And if you've made it this far, it's because this love is already at work within you. Now the journey continues. The transformation has already begun. But now comes a crucial moment, how to live in this light without regressing. Because the world around you remains the same. The same difficulties, the same people, the same challenges are still there. The difference now lies within you. Something has changed, and this change needs to be protected. But here's the truth. The light is not fragile. It does not easily extinguish, it does not vanish with difficulties, but it needs to be nurtured, strengthened, and held firm. Because what is nurtured grows. And now what needs to grow within you is this new reality. The first trials. The test of choice. In the coming days, something inevitable is going to happen. Situations will arise to test this new decision. People who doubt. Circumstances that challenge. Old thoughts trying to resurface. And what should you do when that happens? Remember, the choice has already been made. Pain may try to knock at your door, but it no longer owns your heart. Fear may whisper, but it has no control over your steps anymore. Doubt may try to creep in, but now there's a greater certainty. The light is already within you, and nothing can take it away, but there's a secret. This light grows when it is nurtured. How to stay steadfast in the light. Now is the time to protect this transformation. Here's what needs to be done to strengthen this new journey. Cut ties with the darkness. There are things, places, and even people that pull you backward, not because they are bad, but because they belong to a time that has passed. Now is the time to surround yourself with what strengthens you, not what weakens you. Reprogram the mind. What you listen to and consume influences what you feel. What enters defines what stays. It's time to feed your mind with the truth, not the old lies that kept the pain alive. Persist even when you don't feel like it. Not every day will be easy. There will be times when the light seems distant. But feelings do not define reality. What has been initiated within you is solid, and moving forward, even when you don't feel like it, is what strengthens this transformation. The future that awaits you. Now, look ahead. What once seemed impossible is now within reach. Life doesn't have to be a repetition of pain. There is something new waiting. The only thing left to do now is to keep going, move forward. And for those who doubt, who say nothing changes, who question this transformation, the answer will come at the right time, because this light will grow. It will shine brighter. It will transform every area of your life. And when they look at you, they will no longer see the person who was once trapped in the darkness. Someone has been rescued. Someone has been transformed. The journey has begun. Darkness no longer has control. But now, the decision must be steadfast, to move forward without looking back. Because there will be tough days, there will be moments when the past tries to come back. But the truth remains, the light has prevailed. Nothing can erase what has been ignited within you. What was once a burden is now freedom. What was once fear is now strength. What was once pain is now purpose. And this is just the beginning. The future will not be like the past. With every step, the transformation grows stronger. With every choice to stay in the light, something new is born within you. And the best response to all of this? Live out this new story. So now, here's an invitation. Share in the comments what this message stirred in you. Your testimony could be the light someone needs. And to continue this journey together, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Because this journey doesn't end here. If this word resonated with you, give it a like and declare in the comments, "I walk in the light, nothing can stop me."